This is Prayerline, your weekly inspiration to help you pray for student movements around the world.
Less is more? Do less? It might have seemed like strange advice to a team of only 3 staff, especially when their movement, the Solomon Islands University's Christian Fellowship, started just 8 years ago and faced a full shutdown during the 2020 pandemic. But less is what David Walter, IFE's regional secretary for the South Pacific, was suggesting. Well, not less overall. He was advocating for less of a hands-on approach to ministry, David explains. I'd been encouraging them not just to minister to the students, but also with and through the students. I explained that this involves moving beyond teaching to training up, that it's about entrusting the students with ministry, guiding and mentoring, rather than taking the lead themselves. As Edward, SIUCF General Secretary, and recently appointed staff workers Rose and Amelia adopted this approach, they soon noticed its impact. The ministry expanded. Now, SIUCF has a presence at the University of the South Pacific, Honiara campus, and on each of the National University's 3 campuses, with some having Bible study groups in several dorms. But less of one ministry skill required more of another. The team recognized that its new focus called for greater understanding of leadership. So at the start of the year, they reached out to David. Over several weeks, David led in-depth training via Zoom. I wanted this to be more than just how-to leadership tips, so we dug into leadership themes in the Bible and explored practical, culturally appropriate ways to apply them. Together, they discovered how servant leadership involves a godly confidence, faithful flexibility, and teamwork that equips and entrusts. This training helped us understand why and how we should lead, Rose shares. I've been influenced and challenged, especially by the idea that confidence in ministry comes from imitating the servant heart of Jesus and not from hearing the affirmation and acclaim of others. 5 years ago, we shared in Prayerline how Amelia got involved in SIUCF as a student. At the time, we asked that God will raise new young leaders to serve God through SIUCF. How encouraging that Amelia is an answer to that prayer and that she's grown through this training. In her words, "The dynamics of student ministry are very different from how I'm used to serving within our church youth fellowship. These sessions have equipped us with tools and insights that will grow SIUCF ministry by training other students to be leaders and disciple makers." So, as Amelia, Rose, and Edward grow in leadership, learning to do less, let's pray that God, working through students, will do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine. Give thanks for Edward, Rose, and Amelia and the growth of SIUCF over recent years. Pray for the staff as they grow in biblical leadership. As the staff team equips, enables, and entrusts students to lead ministry, ask that SIUCF will continue to flourish and see more young leaders emerge. Give thanks for the mid-year conference called Jesus Centered that took place last month. Pray for the 30+ students who attended, that their whole lives will be truly centered on Jesus.
Thanks for listening to Prayerline. To have stories delivered fresh to your inbox each week, join our Prayerline mailing list by going to ifesworld.org.